So welcome back to my channel. This is Dom, and today I'm going to be opening and taking a look at this new Montrose Scottish Royalist starter army from Warlord Games. This is part of the Epic Pike and Shot range, and I'm really excited, so let's get in. So yes, indeed, I was very fortunate indeed that Warlord kindly sent me this Pike and Shot Epic Battles Montrose Scottish Royalist Starter Army box set. I wasn't expecting it, and I'm absolutely delighted to receive it, so thank you very much indeed, Warlord, for doing that. Reason why I was excited about this was I was very keen to have a look at the Highland Clansmen that they produced as sort of the next phase of Epic Pike and Shot. So initially you had the starter armies excuse me, in the box sets, which allowed you to fight 30-year war, imperial or Protestant forces, or English Civil War, parliamentarian, or royalist forces. Now they've expanded the range, obviously, to include the Scottish elements, predominantly for the English Civil War, but also there were a number of Scots that were involved in the forces, particularly on the Swedish side, in the 30-year war. So that's interesting in its own right. Now, I don't think the Highlanders necessarily took part, but I might have a little bit of artistic license and have a few in my forces. Maybe they were fresh over from Ireland, from Scotland. Also, there was a lot of Irish regiments, Irish brigades that were involved in both sides, in both conflicts. So, again, these figures allow you to play this. So, let's have a look at what the box set includes. It's a lovely army box. Usual high standard in terms of artworks, and in here you get a lot. So it says here, the Royal Scottish Army of Montrose has always been a favourite with wargamers. A small force, almost entirely dependent on its infantry, this army was usually outnumbered but rarely outfought on the battlefield. The Irish Brigade and the Highland clans gave the army its unique feel, and limited access to good cavalry and artillery makes it somewhat unorthodox, but also the more iconic for it. So let's have a look at the box. In this box it says you get 3 regiments of 80 combined pike and musket, plastic. So those are the traditional Epic Pike and Shot units, 4 ranks of 10 pike, so 40 pike, and 2 wings of 20 musketeers for each battalion. Also in here you get 1 Scots Covenanter regiment of 80, again 40 pike, 40 musket, so that gives you your 4 regiments you can see on this picture. You get a Scots Covenant frame gun, which, interesting, there aren't any rules for in the main Epic book, so have to adapt that somehow. You get a dismounted Scots Covenanter battalion commander. You get 5 dismounted Scots Dragoons. You get 4 regiments, this is the bit that excited me, 4 regiments of 40 Highland Clansmen. So that's the ones down the front here on the picture. So you can see 10 men in each rank by the look of it, and 4 ranks gives you a 40. Now they are in Warlord resin, so that'll be interesting to see how they sculpt up. You also get 3 mounted battalion commanders, 3 ensigns, 20 Harbeskier, I can't even say it, the medium cavalry for the period, which gives you basically 2 regiments for me, because I do mine in 2 elements into a regiment. So that gives me, which is perfect for this. You also get 4 cuirassiers. I get slightly annoyed with the cuirassiers in this, because they give you 4. 4 is no use to you. Plus, I don't think this army really had cuirassiers. But anyway, that's by the by. I'm not going to complain. I'll absorb them into my Imperial forces, which do need an awful lot of cuirassiers. 2 mounted cornets, 6 dragoons, 10 dismounted dragoons, So they're in addition to the Scottish dragoons. And you can use the dragoons as commanded shot or dragoons, which is what I do. They're pretty much interchangeable. If you look very carefully on some of the models, they've got riding boots on rather than sort of standard boots. So technically they should be the dragoons, but at this scale, 15mm, true 15mm, you can't really tell the difference. You also get 2 Saka medium guns, 2 Falconier light guns. You get the Marquis of Montrose himself, who's also in Warlord resin. You get a mounted herald in resin, and you get Alistair MacCollier and his 2 bodyguards, who were infamous Highland chieftains and warriors who were deadly, absolutely deadly. They also come in Warlord resin, and then you get the bases, and you get a full page of flags for this particular army. So you get a lot in this box, which is great. It also comes with a recommendation on the colours that you might want to use for this. So let's open it up and have a look at it close up. Right, so the cellophane wrapper is off, and let's just get all this goodness out and have a look. So first sprue out is one of the sort of standard epics, pike and shot, cavalry, artillery and commanded shot stroke dismounted dragoons. This looks like exactly the same one as you get in the standard box set. You've got the commander type figure here, guy with well, it's either a lance or a standard, so I assume it's a standard. There weren't many lances in this period, certainly not in the English Civil War. You've got the 2 cuirassiers here. You've got the light cannon there. These are the commanded shot type figures. And you've got the medium cannon here, the ensign as well. So that's a standard, nothing different. There's your little flags. We'll come back to those. So you've got a second sprue of the cavalry and the commanded shot and the cannons. These looks like the Covenanter infantry. Now these are, yeah, these are proper Covenanters. So I was just seeing whether they were any different to the ones I've got from the magazine. There was a sprue of these on War Games Illustrated's magazine, and so I've got a couple of them because people kindly gifted me the ones they didn't want. And they're nice. They're really nice. I like the look of the pikemen. They've got the kind of the classic soft caps that the Covenanters wore, and are very straightforward to paint up because they predominantly their uniform was a grey, so that makes life a lot easier. You've got the musketeers here, 4 ranks of pike, and you'll notice they are all standing upright. You don't have any of those fiddly individual figures. Now, when I looked at this sprue first time round, I misspoke. I said they look exactly the same, apart from the heads, as the standard pike and shot sprue. That's not at all correct. Yes, they have the same kind of pose, but there's nobody here with armour. In the traditional, the normal pike and shot for the English Civil War and the 30 Years War, you've got, I think, 3 ranks have armour and 1 rank doesn't, and there's the odd figure within the ranks that don't have any armour on. None of these have armour. Not even helmets, I don't think. Can't remember. No. I mean, potentially the guy here, one of the officers, you could change him to have a metal cuirass if you wished. It's probably more appropriate just to have leather. So that's different. You also, as I said, you haven't got the guys with their pikes half levelled, which I actually prefer because they are so-and-sos to fit on the base. That's all I'm going to say. You've also got these are the Scottish Dragoons stroke commanded shot, again with the soft caps. You've got, sorry, spinning it around, you've got the cavalry. You've got two guys, I think it is. Whoops. You've got two guys here with lance. Scottish Covenanter cavalry were still using the lance, which nobody else really was. You've got a couple with muskets, probably carbines actually, and this guy's just got his sabre out to cause some mayhem. And then you've got the frame gun here, which is a multi-barreled launcher, or you can use a very, very light cannon alternatively as well. So that's the sprue of the Covenanters. So this must be the Montrose infantry sprues. Now immediately I'm going to go back on what I just said, because you've got again the guys with the, the pikes, which is really annoying. I hate these. So this looks to be just like the standard pike and shot regiments. You've got this section of the sprue is predominantly unarmoured, apart from the helmets. These guys predominantly armoured, and the officer set predominantly armoured. So they are basically the same as the standard pike and shot unit. So that's your Montrose infantry, 1, 2, and 3. So no different there to the standards. There's your the bases, which you need plenty of, and then let's get into have a look at some of these special figures. So here we go. This is the one This is what I was most excited about seeing. This is. Let me bring these up as close as I can and hopefully keep them focused. These are the Highlanders. So that's the Highland Command, which looks very impressive. You've got a guy with looks like a two-handed weapon there. This one's got just a sword. He looks to have a musket. Yeah, musket. Then you've got bagpipes, a guy with a Taj, which looks like that might have not moulded properly. Yeah, looks like that should connect. Ooh. Yeah, it looks like that hasn't quite moulded correctly. There's you can see a bit of a top of a sword, I guess that is, that should be with this guy with the Taj, and it's not moulded, which is a bit frustrating. Guy with the standard bearer, another guy with a musket, another guy with a sword by the look of it, another Taj with pistol this time, and another guy with a musket. Nicely sculpted by the look of it, apart from that sculpt there, which is slightly frustrating. Some of them appear they've all got soft caps on, they've all got kilts. Some of them appear to have kind of tartan style, I can't think what they call it, but it's wrapped around their chest. Yeah, nice, apart from the damage on that one. There is one of the standard Highland sprues. So again, you've got guy with a Taj, shield, another one there. What the hell is that one doing? Not entirely sure what that one is doing. Looks like a rather portly gentleman by the look of it. Guy with a sword behind, slightly behind. And I like the ragged approach of the line. It kind of looks neat in an unneat way, if you see what I mean. Guy with a musket, another one with a sword. Sword. Was that? Yeah, that's a sword. Or is that a bow? I think he might have a bow, that guy. Another one with sword and shield. Again, quite nice quality. Same sort of quality sculpting as the plastics. Bear in mind these are done with the Warlord resin, which in theory you don't need to undercoat, apparently. So that's that. That is, so they've all got letters. So that's Highlander A, and there's another Highlander A. There's another Highlander A. Highlander B. Let's have a look at this one. See if we can get in close on that. You get, again, a guy with two-handed sword by the look of it, one with a sword and shield. He's quite hidden at the back, might be a bit difficult to paint. Guy with sword and shield. Bowman again, another one with a sword and shield. This guy looks like he's got a club or something. And more swords and shields across the front there. Again, wearing the kilts. These look like they need a little bit of tidying up around the swords. There's a little bit of flash there on the weapons. Otherwise okay, so that's B. That's another Highland command. So yes, you can see where the first one had a miscast. It's the sword. That is a sword that he should have there. So that's that. Another command, because there's 4 units. So in theory, one assumes there's a command for each. So there's 4. There should be 4 A's, 4 B's, and presumably 4 C's? Yes, looks like it. Right, let me just sort these out. And these are the C's. So, again, very interesting looking, slightly different in their style. You've got sword and shield guy there. Again, looks like that might not have cast properly. It looks like it's lost the blade off that, which is disappointing. A guy with, can't remember what they're called now. Like a pole arm with a big blade on the end there. A couple of sword and shields. Guy with, is that that's the miscast. It's just there, it's loose. That's a spear. Okay. Don't know where that's from. We'll have to hold on to that, but that's looks like the top of a spear. So going back to this sprue, you've got a couple of guys with those sort of pole army weapons. That's what that is. He's holding it above his head because there's this blade on the side there, which attaches to that blade as well. So, interesting. They've only got these two-handed weapon guys in the back rank. I suppose you can order them however you wish. But in a way, that's a bit of a shame, actually. I wish they were spread out a bit more around thing. Let's see what this one looks like. Maybe that isn't a miscast, because that one hasn't got it either. Maybe that isn't a miscast. It's just, yeah, look, all 4 of the spruce C's, so he's just basically waving his fist, which seems slightly odd, but he's Scottish, I suppose. Yeah. Apart from a few sort of slight issues with weapons not quite correct and some of the flash on them. Oops. I actually like these. They're great. They're going to be tricky to paint up purely because they are so tightly packed. And you've got guys who are literally in front of other blokes, which could be challenging. And on the other hand, you know, if you're just going for the overall effect, it's not going to be too bad at all. Yeah, so there you go. You've got the odd musket in them. You've got the old bowman. You've got a couple of guys with two-handed weapons and what have you. But plenty of troops to make up a hairy-arsed warband of Highland warriors to go with your Covenant, with your Montrose army. I'm certainly going to be working my way through these fairly quickly. So that's them. Not sure where that spear comes from, but we'll keep that together so I don't mislay. And then next up, these are the characters. So this is Montrose 5 characters. I presume that is Montrose himself there. Looks like he's got a telescope in his hands. Nice model. Really nice model. A lot of detail for a true 15mm epic scale. Yeah, like him a lot. And there is his herald. He's got a trumpet. Again, nicely sculpted. Looks very good indeed. And then these are the Highland characters. So this is Mac Collar. I think this is probably he, with his two-handed sword. Nice model. He's got a Taj on his back. All in Warlord resin again. One of his bodyguard, I guess. Again with a two-handed sword. Now, I haven't looked at it in the Epic book. In the main Pike and Shot 28mm rules, these guys are pretty mean. There's another bodyguard. This guy's clearly got tartan or braid around his side, barefoot by the look of it as well. Sorry, it's a bit tricky to hold on and still show with my arthritic fingers. Nice. And then finally, let's take a look at the flags. So on here you've got a sheet of flags. You've got various regiments, and also, so the top half looks like that's your regiments, Pike and Shot regiments. You've got generic Covenanter ones. You've got what else you got here? Campbell's regiment there. You've got Stewart's regiment there. So the number of options there if you wish them. There's the flags for the cavalry here, and then the Marquis of Montrose himself over here, and then these are clan flags, and then Irish Brigade flags here. So plenty of options there if you wish, and then there's the Royal Scottish banner if you wish to do that as well. So overall, yeah, quite happy. I think it's obviously exactly what it does on the tin. It is an army in the box. There is, apart from some of those odd things like the cuirassiers, which have no part in this army at all, but I understand because it's a standard sprue, so you just get them. So you just either swap them with somebody who is doing something that needs cuirassiers or not, but that's only 4 figures out of, well, several hundred by the look of it in here. You've got your core units of Pike and Shot, which is what you need in these period armies, and then you've got the variety, which is the Highlanders. 4 regiments of those is going to give you some serious punching power if you're going to play the Montrose force, which you're going to need because you are light on artillery and you are light on cavalry. You're also pretty light on commanded shot and dragoons, which again might leave you at a bit of a disadvantage in the period, but that is, if you're playing Montrose, that's what you're going to have to get used to. I like the box. I like the set. You know, you've got, I'm not going to, you know, the standard sprues are the standard sprues. There's no real difference there. The Covenanter ones we've seen before, so there's not really any difference there. It really is the characters. Montrose, who I think is really cool, like him a lot, and these special Highland characters as well, who are brilliant, and the Highland Warriors themselves. That is the difference maker in this box. I don't know whether Warlords will be selling the Highlanders on their own. I would imagine in some stage they will, but no idea. They haven't told me, and I haven't seen anything written about it. But I think overall these are going to be fun to do, and I'm going to look forward to bumping them up the painting priority to get them on the table fairly soon and see what they look like. So there you go. Thank you very much once again to Warlord for sending me this box set. Much appreciated. Really decent of you, and hope you found it useful and interesting. Let's say the Highlanders were the ones that got me most excited, so really good to see them up close and personal. And apart from a few little moulding issues which you're going to get from time to time, I think they've come out rather well, and I do like the moulding on them. And when they are massed up, these are going to be some serious thugs. I will probably shuffle the orders of the figures, so I don't have all the guys with two-handed axes in the same rank in all the battalia. because there's very little else you can do, because they are strips. You can't sort of put individual figures around. Don't know what I'm going to do with these Highland characters. I feel like they need to be treated in some way specially, so I'll have a think about that, but that's for another day. Anyway, hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a like, share, subscribe, do all that good stuff. I'm planning a battle, well, probably after this video comes out. It'll go up on the channel, but I'm having a battle down the club for the first time using my existing epic pike and shot figures, plus some metals that I've mixed in. So look out for that. I've done already a 30-year war game, in fact a couple of them on the channel, so if you're interested in more pike and shot content, make sure you subscribe, hit the notification for when that goes up. And thanks again for watching, and thanks to Warlords once again for sending this over. This is Dom signing out. Thanks for watching. See you again soon.